Hey, what's up, bros? Me, the professor. Hey, you know what? Listen to me now and hear me later. All right. Check that hair out of regs. Let me ask you a simple question. You see the poster? You know what this is about. The question is, why do we want to deal with people like that in this simulation? When we could very easily just think about things that we want in life and they come to us, right? Well, guess what happens in between that time? Just like in any video game, any simulation, there's going to be NPCs. NPCs are non-player characters that are there to make our lives difficult. Now, you might think, how can they make our lives difficult? Well, if you see the thumbnail and you see the type of people, you see what I'm saying. We have a pretty girl on the left and a fat girl on the right. The pretty girl on the left has 119 bodies. The fat girl on the right has 0. The one on the left has no values and practices tarot and Satanism. And the one on the right is a dedicated Orthodox Serbian Christian girl. So why would I deal with a satanic entity? Well, that is why we're here to talk about today, because a lot of you guys are dealing with NPCs that are nothing more than satanic entities. And you want to get mad at them because they're doing what they do naturally. And that is steal, kill, and destroy. Am I right? So if you take a look at that thumbnail one more time, and it says that the girl on the left is a 119 pound size 4 dress. And but she has a history of being with 30 different men. You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to pick the young fat girl and put her in a gym and put her on a diet and get her in shape and disregard the other one. Why? I'll tell you why. The one on the left has 3 kids from 3 different baby daddies. Do you know what happens when you marry a girl who has baby daddies? What happens when the kids disrespect you? What are you supposed to do? If you're supposed to discipline somebody else's kid, it's not going to happen. They never respect you. If you're dating a single mother, well, congratulations. You're about to play yourself. Because if you're going to go over to her house for the night, guess what happens? She says, okay, well, we'll have sex after the kids go to bed. Well, surprise, the kids fucking never go to bed. How you like them apples? Seems like a good deal. Where do I sign up? Fellas, you and I both know you just want the pussy. So, because the pussy's easy because she's over 30, or she's blown out, or she's got lots of kids, you take advantage of that opportunity just to have sex. But she's looking at it as like, oh, this is my new boyfriend, or this is my baby daddy's replacement. That kid will never respect that guy. That's why I say, why in the hell would you marry a woman who has kids? Dude, there are millions of women that are just as attractive that don't have kids or don't have problems. But I understand as a dude, some of us guys like problems. But we don't like to pay for problems, especially when it's somebody else's problem. What does that mean? That means if you're dating a single mother, you're going to have to be responsible financially for somebody else's fucking kids. Oh, you say no? I say yes, because who pays the rent in your house? You know, what are you going to live with her? Is she independently wealthy and you have like surpluses of cash laying around and you have the money to pay for somebody else's kid? Don't think so. Guys, we're in a simulation that is so awesome and so real. And since we know that now, why not ride the snake? Why not just take it out and say, hey, let's take this thing for a test drive and start testing the limits of this so-called simulation that we're in? Wouldn't that make sense? Because if you knew we're in a simulation, it sure as hell makes it easier. You know, that's why I believe a lot of people commit suicide, especially the rich. The wealthy already know because somebody told them. You see what I'm saying? If the wealthy and the elites all know what's up, they can play this game and make themselves like this in no time. That's why we're able to see all this crazy stuff happening in this realm that we're in right now. Basically, if you think about it, well, who put it best? Even though I know Napoleon Hill was what he was, I enjoyed his books. I appreciated listening to him talk, but I know he was using this. He was using the system. He was using this simulation. He was using this simulation to get everything he wanted in life. And that's what I got here. I got one of these little motherfuckers here. This is another service dog we got. And all I had to do was think about it. I didn't ask for it. It showed up. Look at the hair on top of my head. You guys know I was almost bald. And my hair was gray. Now it's dark like I'm a young guy. I don't dye my shit. You kidding me? I'm ready to stop using regular soap, much less dye my hair. You crazy? But I do enjoy this because at least I got some creative outlet for the rest of my days. Look at this dog. This wasn't my intention to get up at 4 a.m. and start getting after it, but this little dog here is just, look at him. He's out of his mind. But anyway, we rescued this dog like 2-3 weeks ago. Damn, has it already been yeah, it's been about a month. We rescued this dog while we were having class one day, and one of the kids comes running up and says, "Hey, look, I found a puppy." So I did not try to find out where it came from. I published it. Said, "Hey, we found this dog. You're about to get published again. Take your ass somewhere else." Look at him. He's the best. Look at him. See what I'm saying? He's a little monster. Look at him. He's a little monster. So it's some kind of a poodle mix with some kind of Spanish dog that's very common here. Adorable little bastard. And he's just got his teeth in, so he's teething like crazy. And they're sharp as needles. You know how puppy dog you know how puppy dog breath is? Puppy dog teeth. Still got it all. He's got but his hair is like yarn. See what I'm saying? This is like one of those dogs that you make dreadlocks with. You know, the big long dreadlock dogs. But he's adorable. You know, he's a cutie pie. Anybody need a service dog? An emotional support dog? Anybody need an emotional support dog out there? Dude, hit me up in the chat. Okay, I could see you there, so if you want a little puppy dog, like this little sumbitch. Look. I mean, his hair is so beautiful. It's weird. It's like raggedy. Look at it. Look at that. What is going on here? What's going on here? See? And see, he doesn't think he's hurting me. You know what I'm saying? His teeth are so sharp. But, yeah. I just taught him how to run up the stairs, too, so he's able to climb upstairs now. Pretty good about that. So, when we have the other dogs here, we got to separate them all to eat. Wait a second, guys. All right, there we go. I didn't mean to go sideways on you like that. Okay, so you see his hair. All right, it's beautiful. Beautiful hair. Fur, actually. I've had a few of these. They're here with you for a while. You get attached to them. And then they die. So far, my first service dog, Tara, died because my neighbors poisoned him. And then my second dog, Bella, had puppies. So my second service dog passed away after having puppies. That was painful. You guys know it's 4:20. You guys get up at 4. You guys get up at like what, 8, 9, 10? Well, I'm not gonna bullshit you guys. I don't do 24-hour shifts anymore because I'm not employed by anybody. That's retired life. I don't get deployed anymore unless I want to. Good morning to you too. Okay, leave that dog. So why do we get mad at people in the simulation? Why do we get mad at people that aren't even real? No. No. Get up here. We get mad at people that do what they do instinctually. So just imagine, this is what my theory was, that this was a simulation, that we're in hell. Yeah, that me, myself, I don't say hell because I never did anything to deserve hell, but it seems to me like a lot of people that are here, they're demonic. They have demonic possession. I mean, come on, if you could not have a better simulation than something that's as clown world as this is. And I know you're on the other side of the world experiencing life over there. I'm down here in Mexico experiencing the simulation in Mexico. It's not like what you think. So the simulation in Mexico is a little bit like the simulation in Germany or in the United States, is that it's first world quality of life where I live. And then if you go to the next town over, it's third world quality of life. See the difference? There's this distinct difference between, let's say, Richmond, Virginia, and like DC. Okay? You can go to DC and get shot and killed. You can go to, what's it, Hershey Mountain up in was it Philly? And then go to, some of the nicer spots in Philadelphia and go, I just drove from here to there, and it just goes from the worst part of town to miniature palaces over here. And in your mind, you're thinking, Mexico's not like that. Mexico's dirty and dusty and has cactuses and mariachi bands. Brother, let me tell you what. If it was like that, I probably wouldn't be here. And people that come to visit know better. And they come to visit and they go, oh, Mexico's really not like I thought it was. It's really kind of fancy in a way. Well, it's not fancy. Let me tell you what it is. See, what do NPCs do in video games? Sell swords, right? You exchange what coins that you picked up or jewels or whatever, and you go buy a shield and a sword, and then you go on your little quest. Then along the way, you need magical powers, so you stop by another store that has an NPC that's just standing there like, what can I do for you today, knight? Or whatever, magician. And then your words will come up, and then it'll have multiple choice. Do you want to A, buy a sword, B, buy a magic spell, or C, buy a shield or something like that, time warp thing. You see, the NPC doesn't have any control over the game. The NPC only takes and gives exactly what it's programmed to take and give. Are you seeing what I'm saying here? An NPC in a video game is only programmed to give weapons or magic or something like that in a video game in exchange for money or jewels or points. I don't know. I don't play video games anymore. No, I do apologize because I'm downstairs now. I'm going up in the studio. I got a new microphone so I don't sound like I'm talking through a potato. But it's 4:20, 4:25 right now in central Mexico. So why would I come to Mexico and be constantly bombarded by NPCs? I guess it would call it like somebody who has like main character syndrome or something like that, which most of us have. Most of us have a major problem with you think you're in your own video game, you think you're in your own mini series, especially people who are super delusional like influencers, which I despise that name. These are people that thrive off of attention, and if they don't get it, they lose their fucking mind. Well, these are all NPCs. These people are just background people for you. You see that? There's a dog. Yeah, dog. It's like he can see you. See him? See that dog? He's a little cutie boy, isn't he? Anyway, why would we get mad at people that are NPCs? Well, because we're so dumb that we think this is real. And I know it hurts to hear that. You're probably thinking, oh, you're nuts. No, brother. If this was real, why are we having so many glitches? I mean, if I have to think about something, okay, I'm going to make a ton of money tomorrow. I don't know how. Am I getting reimbursed from somebody? I did nothing to deserve that. But a person that thinks inside the simulation, as in the person who doesn't know there's a simulation going on, all of their decision making is based on the give and take of the player one, if you will. Now, if this is a simulation, that means that there's a player one somewhere playing me. And I'm the character inside the video game. And whatever this motherfucker is doing, I just want him to keep doing it. I don't know if he's a motherfucker or not, but whoever this dude is, half my life was a game that sucked. Meaning that I was alienated by my dad. Mother passed away. Never knew who my natural father was. Brother's a fucking junkie. And a saboteur at that. So, but like I said, these are all people that I literally got mad at once in my life because I really thought that they existed and this was real. Because this might have been real once, like the family that I was born into, or when I was adopted into, may vary. None of this sounds nuts, you guys. This is just a NPC theory. The simulation, the way I see it, is that if we still think this is real, then we're getting mad at people that aren't even there. We're like schizophrenic people that apparently somebody said that we were. People that believe that this is a simulation said, no, these people are crazy. You don't know. I mean, I don't know. I'm just talking about it. I'm just asking the question. Why do we get mad at people in a video game? Do you think when we turn off the console and go to bed at night, that character that sells swords in that little store in that video game is thinking about you? Not likely. That little guy in that little store in your simulation or your video game is the person at the corner store that's always there. It never takes a day off. And then you've got the fuck-ups. The fuck-up NPCs are my least favorite because they're troublemakers. All they do is start shit with people. But we choose these people to be in our lives because we assumed from day one that they were legit. And then when we find out they aren't legit, then we want to get mad at them. I mean, come on, guys. If that's what this is, then that's the part of the game that we want to write out. Because that means that you can basically manifest, just by thinking about it, the most beautiful girl that suits you perfectly. The most perfect house that fits your budget. You know, the kind of car that literally should be reported as stolen because it was so cheap that you got it. So what did I do? Okay. I said that I wanted a Doberman that's called Sepia. That's that sepia. You know, it's like a brown color. And I didn't want to cut his ears. I just wanted to have floppy, natural ears. Well, there's a guy in Germany that has a farm that raises Dobermans. German Dobermans. So that's where Handsome came from. And Handsome is possibly, he's got to be almost 100 pounds by now. He's so muscular and shredded. And it sucks though. I feel like, I feel like, I'm looking at my dogs and I'm like, maybe we're the NPCs. And the dogs are the first players. And we're not even in a human world, we're in a dog world. What is that dog doing? What are you doing? What are you doing? You want to go upstairs? You want to go upstairs with me? Look at that little dog. Huh? You want to go upstairs with me? Huh? You want to go upstairs? Now you got little fleas, huh? Take your ass and wash it. Look at him. Come on. I taught him how to go upstairs. You guys love puppies? Put one in the chat if you love dogs. Tell me what your experience is with dogs if you like them. What's up, bro? I'm blessed. Good morning. Would you look at that dog? Look at him. He's going crazy. Now, the dog does that by instinct. But if a dog is an NPC, who programmed it to jump around like that? Who programmed it to come out of nowhere? I mean, think about it. There's so many glitches in this matrix that it should be fun at this point. Because if you do operate in the matrix, or if this is a simulation, that means you can basically do anything and have anything you want. That old civilization that was before us, you know, with all the mud flooded buildings and all that stuff, that house, that palace that I live in, over there, do you think for a fucking second I have money to buy a palace? I don't have money to buy a palace. But somehow, when I said, I would really like to look into these Tartarian flood buildings, because there's a ton of them here in Mexico, and see if, the history of natural art, is it history? No. The World Heritage Foundation keeps an eye on antiquity. Antiquity, yeah. So if they can, like, this historical building, okay, is the original fire watch. This is the old fire watch since before the original fire department, the main fire departments. There was none. There was not a fire department here until 1980 something. And this building was abandoned. Then it was renovated to be residential. And since back in the day they didn't have big machines like they do now, obviously you didn't need much of a building. If you're in a tiny little town, you don't need much of a building to have a fire department here. Another thing is that it's not part of the government. None of it is. None of it's part of the government. I just enjoy being around this little turd ball because he has been fun, and you know, I just do. It's crazy. So before I go, let me just run past you a couple things real fast. We're going to be talking about nutrition soon and talking about diet and exercise, because I'm doing two types of like HIIT training in the morning and in the afternoon. Hence, I'm getting really almost competition ready. Problem is it causes insomnia, which is bagging my eyes out. Motherfucker said the other day, dude, bro, you got shopping bags under your eyes. And he was right. He was definitely right. So what we've done is we put together a regimen of vitamins and minerals and collagen and hyaluronic acid. along with bee pollen, ginseng. We're out of ginseng now because those are just little boxes. Those little cheap boxes of ginseng. And we switched out all the cooking, anything that has to do with cooking, to some things with avocado oil, some things with coconut oil, and the third thing with tallow, which is tallow. What is tallow in English? What is tallow? Was ist das? I would have to say that it's like a fatback, reduced down to a liquid pork fat to cook with, like old school Crisco, but natural. Well, it turns out it's better for you than any kind of cooking oil, which is a seed oil, which causes inflammation. And if you're not familiar, why people... Okay, let's take for example when a person dies. A lot of times at the end of their life, they get really like swollen in the face. Their body starts to shut down because their kidneys aren't filtering anything, and so they're all fucked up. And basically by eating seed oils, using seed oils, which would be like canola oil or something like that to cook with, it's causing inflammation. And if you look at a dead person, that's what inflammation looks like. But then there's oxidation, meaning that if I was to take a certain type of oil that has a threshold of 100 degrees and I go over 101, then it starts to oxidize. Once it oxidizes, it makes either something go rancid very quickly, but it's actually useless. So anyway, that'll be the next podcast that we do. The reason why I say that we don't need to respond to NPCs, and I wish my kid was not an NPC. You know what I'm saying? I wish my son was not an NPC. I wish he would pick up the phone and call me and go, I'm sorry, but you know what I'm saying? He was raised by his single mother that alienated me his entire life, so he thinks I'm a fucking asshole, which he's right about the asshole part, because if you fuck with me, I'm going to push back. And yeah, there's that. Plus, I think somebody is fucking with me, to be honest with you. Somebody stole my mail, stole a check from me, and I don't even want to go into it. It just pisses me off so much. I don't need the money. That's not the point. It's the insult of the injury done to me. As in, I don't care about the fucking money. What I care about is that the person who decided to steal it from me is somebody that I knew. So if I knew who this person was, and that's why, you know, I went to the FBI. See, the embassy here called me, and they said, we got your police report about this stolen thing. And so because it is what it is, you need to file a identity theft report. So I did that. And then I had to shut my credit off so no one could apply for credit cards because it clearly had stolen my ID. And then, make matters more fun, it's like, I see the person who possibly was involved with it because he delivers the mail. He may or may not be the one who stole what I said, but I have a pretty good idea who it is. And I think you know who it is, and I hope that the fucking FBI catches you too. Because that will mean that all these stupid fucking problems that someone's been fucking with me all this time in this simulation go away. So why do we get mad at people in a simulation? Well, because it's part of our story. If you're living in the, what is it called, the first person character, like the star of the show, and you really believe that people pay attention to you like that, I mean, it's clearly a mental problem. And a lot of us people on YouTube have those mental problems. I definitely did when I was all geared up. But it's funny how it is when you get off of doing the juice and just start doing functional exercises, that you feel, well, I'm definitely less, I don't have the inflammation that I did before. We did a regimen of parasite removals and stuff like that with medicine. Now we're doing like 30 days of nothing but 2 types of antiparasitic medications, and one of them being ivermectin. So I really, really, really recommend that if you eat sushi or you handle animals, you get parasite medicine that's super, super cheap. Might cost you $2 a box. take those medicines, and when you go to the bathroom, do not look. There was a pilot I was stationed with in Turkey. He went to Turkey, he got a tapeworm, and he said he went to the doctor, and he's like, he went to the bathroom, and he's like, ugh. He was like, ugh, what is this shit? And the doctor goes, oh, you got a tapeworm. He goes, oh, I'm glad I got it out of me. He goes, oh, no, that's just the tip of the tail. When you go home, take these 2 pills and don't look. Now, there's been stories about people that looked and were so disgusted they fell down and killed themselves by accident. I'm getting hit in the head. Me, myself, and I never took anti-parasite medicine seriously because, I'm anti-medicine. I don't want to take anything. All I know is that when I took that stuff, it should make you give back things you never stole. That's for sure. So if you would like to, and I'm going to go back on this as well, that the next, see, it is almost 5 a.m. here. Like I said, on the next episode, we'll go through all the bodybuilding supplements I took to become a pro bodybuilder. By the way, I never turned pro. I never got my pro card because of that. And we'll talk about all these donations that we got from books. Hey, you know what? My friend John actually said, you've asked me for money before. I said, motherfucker, I have never asked anyone for money in my entire life. Much less, and I was like, besides, it's a children's charity. Registered with the Mexican government. All you got to do is go on their website and donate $5, $10, $20, acting like I'm rich. I'm making $100,000. I make more than the president in the village. My parents have money and fucking shit, and that's, you know what I mean. It's all well and good. Americans are very impressed by their own money and stuff. Americans love to brag about money. They love to brag about stuff. And if you don't have money, said money, then you don't have stuff. Then you're not on their level. And the reverse is true in Eastern Europe because no one talks about money. No one talks about status. No one talks about your car. No one gives a fuck about your career. Those are just, it's just not a, that is very much an American thing. So when you hear people talk about this motherfucker's broke, and he can't have a family because he's broke, and he's a less of a person because he's broke. That is programming from NPCs. Like I said, there's a give and a take in the simulation. And I want you always get more than you give. And that's the way it is. If you just have to reach out and just say, I would like to see my, $20 go towards some kid's uniform. One of those little kids that comes here in the afternoons, that does classes with us. Those kids' parents make, on average, $250 a month. They make about $3 a day salary, a day, not an hour. I know some of you guys are thinking, I would never work for less than $20 an hour. Good for you. I would never work for anyone. Any amount of money. I don't think money is... the love of money is the root of all evil. It truly is. And if you live in this hellish hellscape of a simulation, you're thinking that this is real, and then they say, uh-oh, they fucked up the matrix because time's not real. And then they say money's not real. Well, if this is a simulation, you're right. Nothing is real. Strawberry fields forever, baby. Anyway, do me a favor, hit the like button and subscribe and share this video because apparently that helps the algorithm and people subscribe to me. I got 12 new subscribers. I want to thank you guys all that there. I'm the Professor, and I'm out.